Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Tutorial Grid Live. We're back for another fun week of live After Effects editing on the movie The Black Mariachi. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing again. Is the Black Mariachi, the Black Mariachi, the Black Mariachi. So, but first, why don't we go ahead and hit that little subscribe button in the YouTube panel over there. Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Avid Productions 479. Also, you can check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/tutorialgrid. And you can also check us out at avidproductions479.com. So yeah, there's a bunch of fun stuff to do there. We are also brought to you by SiteGround, as well as the Black Mariachi by Guantanamo Films. If you are looking for cool, great web hosting, you can check SiteGround out. The link is in the description below. They have great web hosting, starting about $3.99. So make sure to check that out and get your web hosting from SiteGround. So, for what we are going to do tonight is we've got a small piece of footage here, about like one and a half, maybe 2 seconds long. Basically what it is we have this big pillar of light coming out of this golden statue. And we're going to make the pillar of light. We're also going to make a particle stream that goes up. We're also going to have that same, oh gosh, what was it? That same optical flare that we're going to use on the Black Mariachi stick. And yeah, so we've got a bunch of stuff going on. Welcome back, One Man Band. Glad you're here. Welcome to the stream, and it looks like we got another friend here. So, guys, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy tonight. So, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to have some fun. So, this is going to require a crap ton of masking, and I actually watched a couple tutorials today on correctly using our friend the Roto Brush, because we're going to really need it to mask out this stick, as well as our friend here. And our feathers. So let's go ahead and jump right into After Effects, and we're going to get creative. Hopefully we don't have a part 2. Hopefully we can finish this all up tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on my footage here, and we're just going to replace that in After Effects. Also, fun thing. So we got a new tutorial guy on our team. He does 3D effects and stuff, which his name is Matthew. So go check out our first Maya tutorial. His name is Matt, and check him out, or check his tutorials out. Give him a comment, show him some love, and just make him feel welcome. I'm going to send him all the awesome comments, and he'll reply if you want to learn 3D masking, or not 3D masking, but 3D tutorials and stuff. But yeah, check out that. That should be in the very front of our video. I actually was just watching it because we just uploaded it tonight. So hope you guys enjoy that. Okay, anyway, back into our project. Okay, so we've got our footage here, and looks like he moved it. So we're going to have to unmove it. Okay, so that's something that he didn't put in his notes. So we're definitely going to tell him about that and beat him over the head with a stick slightly. But no, not really. Yeah, masking, not surprised, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit scale. I'm going to hit 100% on this because I'm going to have to upscale this. I'm also going to hit P for position and make sure that this is going to be turned off because we don't want any of that to be going on. I'm pretty sure this is a regular static shot. No, it is not a static shot. Crap. Okay, so we'll have a little bit more work than I thought. Okay, so it's just a slight camera in. Well, did we delete that? Come on, position. P for position. Oh, no, we didn't. All right. Delete that. So this is a static shot, right? Thank God it's a static shot. Okay, cool. All right, so he's editing in 1920 by 1080, but unfortunately, the processes that we're going to have to use require us to do them in the full resolution. So I'm going to have to change that back to the full frame, 30 frames per second. Okay, move this over. Make sure that's taking up the full range here. Also, new thing that we're going to be doing, whenever I get into these long stretches of like masking and stuff, I'm going to be glancing over at our little chat window here, and I will be answering your questions. So aside from me answering your questions at the end of the tutorial or whenever I get tired and really just need to stop, I will be answering them while I do really, really tedious things like masking, because we all know how I feel about doing all the masking. All right, let's make sure that's taking up the whole body here. Good. Okay. All right, so first off, ooh, I see that, but I think we're going to be okay. I'm not going to do anything with that. This back here is actually a green screen. We green screened out the entire back of this thing. So this whole pillar and everything behind it, the cave and everything, is made out of styrofoam. And the background is actually green screened all the way around it so we can put a bigger cavern behind him and post on some of these wide shots. So we can make it look wider or more complex than it actually was. Yeah, so there's a fun piece of trivia for your gullet to digest there. Oh, we got another watcher. Hey, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy it. We're working on the Black Mariachi by Guantanamera Films. Okay, so let's go ahead and start rotoing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to turn the last layer off. That way I just have a blank slate to kind of work with, just in case I get too far and don't want to delete things. I want to see where it goes from there. Okay, so I'm going to double click on my footage here, and that's going to bring it up into another window. And I'm going to select my Roto Brush tool. And I'm going to hit Control and click, and I'm going to make this thing as big as possible, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him and this all one layer. So him and our stick of truth here is going to be one layer. That way I can put stuff behind and on top of them, put smoke in here, and do all sorts of crazy stuff. Okay, so here we go. Let's start masking. One. All right, and make this smaller. That's smaller. Whoops. Crap. Sometimes whenever I can't see my fingers, I get really distracted and I hit the wrong thing, and then I just get freaking pissed. All right, so if anybody has any questions about their projects or what I'm doing, now is the time. Roto, you made me out of death. All right, I got the first question. I know I've asked this many times before. Color correcting in After Effects versus Adobe Premiere. Advantages, disadvantage. If you can tell, I am obsessed with color correction. Dude, everybody is obsessed with color correction. That is not a bad thing. Well, advantages of color correcting in Premiere versus streamlining everything into After Effects is the fact it's going to render much quicker in Premiere. just because it doesn't have to look at several different programs. So if you're just color correcting, I wouldn't even bother sending it to After Effects, especially now if you're using Adobe CC, since Premiere now looks at a 32-bit language. So if you are using cameras like a Red or anything similar, it's going to actually look at the correct data flow and be able to see it and render it correctly, rather than what it used to in CS6, or actually the first CC and previous models, where you would have to go into a third-party plugin just to be able to use a 32-bit workflow. So if you're just color correcting, I would absolutely use, curves, and I know they have, like, Magic Bullet has a great set of plugins for color correcting. But yeah, if you can, do it in Premiere. If you really, are looking at a timeline, just because it's going to be way easier to do it that way than it would be to do it any other way. But if you're working in After Effects a lot and your shots are going to be streamlined through After Effects, I would highly recommend doing them in After Effects. I hope that answers your question. I think it did. I'm pretty positive it did. It better have. Dang it. Not really. You're cool. Feathering the feathers. Feathering the feathers. Didn't want to do that. Oh, no. Take this out. Womp. There you go. That a girl. All right. And make this slower. Smaller. That. Sweet. Glad that answers your question, dude. Anybody else with any questions about their projects that they have, while I can answer them, since I'm doing tedious things? Because I know you guys don't want to sit here and watch me just mask all night like you have been doing. And I just added a new piece of equipment to my little lineup of microphone things, if anybody cares. I now have a better pop filter, so I don't blow out your guys' speakers when I go pfft. So that's always fun. Just some techie jargon for your noggins there. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. And mask that out. And keep this. Take that out. Take that out. Take that out. Take that out. Come on, do we have to go smaller? What's the deal here? Come on. Smaller. Here we go. It's the thing about working in 4K footage. You get all the detail in here, and then sometimes just can't do it, or doesn't want to do it. My program doesn't want to play nice. It's a sad day. No! I'm probably just going to have to eat this mask for what it is and go back and use my feathering tool to fix it. Okay, so there's that. And where is my thingy here? Brush matte, feather contrast reduced. Yeah, I'll do that later. What? Don't want that. Take that out. All right, another question. All right, that does while shooting, how often does the visual effects editor jump in on set? Usually there will be a visual effects supervisor on set for anything having to deal with VFX, and he will actually, a lot of the times, direct the director because it has to be shot a certain way. So really, almost any time a scene that has visual effects, there will be a visual effects supervisor on set. Which in this case, on this, that was me. And they work alongside the line producer as well. So, yeah. That's one of those deals. There's that. And there's that. And moving around. Make sure I get this good. All right. No. Keep that. There you go. Get rid of that. Keep that. Oh my gosh. Oh, how that makes sense. I'm guessing during blocking the VFX supervisor is very busy. Absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It gets pretty crazy on set. No, I remember working on this. I was acting as producer, cinematographer, and VFX supervisor, and the writer of the film was there, and he was like yelling and screaming at me, "Look, the cave has to be dark. Why is it bright? Oh my gosh! Like, do you even know what you're doing?" Oh, I'm like sitting there going, "You need to leave. You need to get off of the set if you're going to talk that way. Yes, I do know what I'm doing, and I've been doing this way longer than you have." Sometimes people get a big head, and it just really, yeah, it doesn't make everybody have a good time, unfortunately. Don't have a big head on set. You'll get yelled at. By me. I will yell at you. I didn't yell, but yeah. Oh my gosh, why does it do this? Oh, don't want any of this. Oop. There we go. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Oop. All right, keep this. I'm really hoping this is going to be much faster than masking this out by hand. I believe it will. I believe in my heart it will. Okay, mask that out. Right, cool. We just about finished the mask here, and I have a fly in here, and it's bugging the hell out of me. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. All right, cool. All right, we've got our mask here. All right, we are going to move up a frame. We're just going to go frame by frame and look at this just to make sure it's doing its thing correctly. And by moving up frame by frame, we're going to hit it page up and page down. Page up and page down. So that's another thing I learned today. Is the page up and page down function. So many years of just randomly scrubbing through things. This saved a ton of time. Oh my gosh. It'll be fine. I'll just use this as a rough. So I got to go and refine the mask anyway. All right, page up. Boom. All right, there's that. Page up. All right, page up. Yeah, I think I'm moving backwards. I absolutely am moving backwards. Let's move forwards, please. Thank you. I was totally hitting the wrong button. Apparently page down is forward a frame. How dare you? Keep my man's head straight. Okay, good. I would also like to tell everybody we have a fancy little button right next to the chat window. It is our fan funding button. We love to do all of our tutorials, and no matter if they are funded or not, we are going to keep doing them. But it's a great way to say, hey, I like your live stream, or I like your other tutorials. Keep doing more of that. And just, it's kind of like I say it's a tip jar. We do it for free, no matter what. Anytime, we're always doing it for free. But it always helps, and it helps us do more and give away stuff more whenever we do get funded on some of these things. Because, again, I started this channel long time ago in my college years, and I wanted to keep it as free as possible because my thoughts on education were and still are education should be free, but you should always contribute to those that help you. So yeah, there's just a little bit of that there. So if you want to, you can. If not, thanks for showing up anyway, and I hope you enjoy our stream again. And keep watching our stream. We like having you. I like talking to myself, but if there's somebody here to talk to, it makes things just all the better. And if anybody here that is new, the reason why we do this is because we're trying to do a bigger, like a community outreach. So that's another big reason why that chat window is there, so everybody can get to know everybody. So if there's any projects any of you can work on or help each other with, you can totally communicate through here. And I almost just burped in the microphone. I had a big old gulp of water before I started this. And Mexican food. Oh, Mexican food. It's so good. I don't know why, but I've been like addicted to queso dip lately. Like white queso dip. Oh, it's so good. I think I could probably eat queso dip for every single meal and be happy the rest of my life. I think everybody knows the feeling. Chips and salsa. After this set of series of streams, what will be next? Well, we have another movie that we have two other movies we're working on. One of them is actually my project, which is entitled People Inspiring People, which if you haven't, you need to go check it out. Peopleinspiringpeople.com or peopleinspiringpeoplefilm.com. It's all shot on red, and so there's going to be a bunch of color correction tutorials and stuff on speed grade, and I won't be editing it live, but I will be color grading it live, as well as we've got another partner movie called Thunderdome, which is a documentary about a guy getting over his post-traumatic stress disorder from a plane crash, and he wants us to do a bunch of After Effects stuff in one of his scenes, which we've already kind of done a bunch on, but we're going to be doing the rest of that live. Which it's a great documentary. I've seen it probably a billion times just because I'm one of the associate producers of it. I mean, it's gone through probably like 100 different changes in editing, so it's been a real treat seeing that over and over and over again. No. So yeah, that's two of the things that we'll be working on. But after that, we'll probably just be mainly doing post-produced tutorials. Kind of like the ones that we have done today, and the day before that, and the day before that. So until we get a new film in, or like a commercial or something we can work on that they sign the rights over to us, hopefully I'll find some more stuff to do live, which I'm sure I will. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing. You heard color correction and color grading, and I started to become stoked. Awesome. I'm glad you're so into color. I think that's been one of my big fortes for a long time, is whenever people would hire me to do jobs, they would see my demo reel at the time and saw that I do a lot of color. Like I oversaturate things and make it almost look like hyper realistic. But it's a style. I mean, for the film that I'm doing for People Inspiring People, I mean, it's just going to be a standard film color grade. And again, we shot on red. So we're shooting in 13 bits. So, yeah, there's going to be some good color grading to be done. My God, Roto. Ugh. Sometimes RotoBrush does really good, and sometimes you just gotta hold its hand through the whole thing. And most of the time, that is all of the time. Like it seems like. You just gotta hold its hand, make sure everything's masked. That was awful. Oh my gosh. Like, why does it keep looking at this dang thing? Whoops. Yeah. Stream resumed. Thank God. Okay, cool. Sorry. I got to figure out another program for this thing. I use OBS, and just sometimes it just doesn't want to play nice. But I see we got another watcher. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy it. We're watching. Jeez, I can't talk. Rotobrush doesn't work, and I can't talk. Okay, we're working on the Black Mariachi by Guantanamero Films, and right now we are using the Rotobrush to mask out this ungodly amount of work and masking that would have sucked to manually do, but it looks like it's going to suck to Rotobrush out too. Because we didn't do any kind of backlighting because we're in a cave and technically there's supposed to be zero light. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Just keep all that crap. All right. Victor, you are absolutely correct. This is both depressing and comforting. Comforting. Welcome to the stream. I think this is this stream is going to be a support group for people who just really don't want to mask. So everybody introduce yourself. Hi, my name's Cherokee. Hi, Cherokee. You know, one of those deals. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, look at that. Background 79. Oh, awesome. The funny thing is, we're not even freaking halfway done with this. Oh, this is going to be crazy. All right, keep going. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is one of those deals where it's like, man, I wish I would have backlit this and tried not to make it look like a real cave, and I did that wrong. On set, instead of trying to mask all this crap out in post. So, in my notes from doing this movie is, if there's anything like this to be done ever again, make a front plate, a back plate, and a green screen plate. So what that means is, instead of going through the horrors of masking stuff like this out, and you know that this shot is going to require a massive beam of light and all this stuff, you're going to have this set, like a full, complete, clean plate without this dude in front of it. You're also going to have a set with this dude doing this thing. You're also going to have a set with this dude doing the same thing, except with a green screen in front of him. So then you have all your layers masked out, and you can do whatever the heck you want to, and it's going to look awesome without having to do all this masking. So just food for thought. If you ever get a crazy hair to do anything like this, make sure you do it right the first time. We worked with what we had with the budget that we had to do it with. I like to make excuses. Hi, I'm Cherokee, and I make excuses. So the question is, well, here's the question before. To me, oh my gosh, I can't read. To me, I'd just be using a regular mask or even doing it in Photoshop. And the question is, does Roto really work better / faster / more efficient than other masking, at least for this case? In this case, unfortunately, yes. This is going to be a lot faster than it would be to regularly mask this out. The reason why is because of these dang feathers. If these feathers weren't here, this process would have taken a lot quicker, because we could have masked out the stick, masked out him, and been fine. But since we have these feathers here and this massive beam of light that's supposed to be going up, we're pretty much screwed. So we have to use the roto brush tool since we didn't green screen out the first time. So what we're doing is we're going to be using the roto brush tool, and then we're going to use the refine mask tool to gain back all of our feathers and all of our detail. So really, I mean, we're using this front mask as a base to what we're going to end up we're actually working with. At least that's the idea. And on this show, ideas sometimes don't work, and we have to do it all over again. But that's the cool thing about this show, or this live stream, because I'm doing it live. I'm showing you all the vulnerabilities of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and guess what? I'm probably going to be wrong a lot of the times. But I learned from it, and because there's 1,000 different ways to do certain effects, and this is literally the process. I mean, not one effect is going to work the same time every single time. So it's all about figuring out what's going to work best in that situation, learn from it, and move on. Like, I think I say this almost every tutorial, but it's kind of like another reason why I started the show is because there are so many post-produced tutorials that you watch the tutorials and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy does this effect in 30 minutes and the guy's obviously way freaking better than me and I obviously suck and I'm going to do it, but I'll never be as good as him because he did it in 30 minutes and you're always strive to do this tutorial in like 30 minutes. When actually that tutorial probably took a couple of hours and he cut out a bunch of stuff. Like I do the same thing just because, you know, I'm trying to push, you know, a certain time frame. So it's not like taking up a crazy amount of time for YouTube, and nobody just wants to sit there and watch guy masking and guy masking and guy masking, which is a downfall to this show and this point right here. But you know, this show is all about showing, you know, this is the process, and I'm trying to work out ways to make it more fun for everybody, and that's why I'm answering all of your guys' questions while I do this. So you're getting something out of it while you're watching me do this crazy tedious stuff, and it makes you feel more comfortable with the program knowing that somebody like me that has been in the industry for 8 years now is doing this same process over and over and over again. And like you just said, it's comforting and discomforting at the same time to see someone do the same thing that you're doing. So guess what? We're all in the same boat, and we all know how it feels. Yeah, we should be. So I got I'm going to read Victor's last comment here. Okay, I guess I've never used the refine mask tool properly, so I'm looking forward to when you get to that part. Yeah, that's something that's going to be pretty good. I'm really trying to get this base down as good as I can because that's going to help things along the way. Since I didn't backlight this scene due to the writer being on set. And he's like, you're supposed to look like a cave, damn it. And I'm like, dude, I've got to light this thing because we're doing these things this way. He's like, well, it's supposed to be dark. So I lit it with a complete 100% diffusion instead of having a small backlight to kind of give this guy a slim trim of a light on his hair and stuff. So got to deal with it and move on from there. Yep. Also, Victor, I've have done one of these live stream tutorials over fixing really bad green screen, and I actually show you how to use the refine mask tool, because we had a scene in our movie where the green screen got completely botched and turned white slash like turquoise, and we weren't able to, or I wasn't able to key it out, so I had to do a complete refine mask, and we got some really good results using the roto brush tool. So I believe it's one of the first tutorials or live streams that we did, so I would check that out if you want. And keep going. Almost there. We're so close. So close. All right, keep going. Here we go. Keep going. And keep going. And I see this. Take that out. That out. Keep going. Take that out. Another thing that sucks, where you're working on brown on brown on brown, so there's not a lot of crazy color distinctions. That's going to hopefully not hurt us or hurt me while I'm working on this. Keep going. Nope. There's a problem right there. Go back. Move that off. Move that. Keep going. Keep trucking. Keep trucking. And keep trucking. Warp. Warp. Nope. That's not what I want there. All right. I think that's going to do it. Cool. Okay, I think we've got our base mesh ready to go. So now what we're going to do is go all the way back to the front frame here. And we're going to click and hold down and go to Refined Edge Tool. And we're going to make this a little bit bigger. And we're going to kind of move around our edge a bit. And it's going to find what we wanted. So now you see all the hair, you see all the stuff that we've been trying to keep. And it's basically the same as if you were using Photoshop. It's going to find, since we're using a 11-bit camera, it's able to find all of the hair and all of the stuff that we want to keep, because it's able to use the entire exposure of the camera. Okay, so we got another question. Does putting it in another color mode or applying some effect ever make the roto work better? Because everything is brownish. I wonder if red or blue channels might make edges show up better. Yes and no. Reason why I say no is because you can't really isolate channels that well in the layer here. So you can kind of see it pretty well, and you can see where the matting and the refining is going. But if you're really, whenever you're using the rotor brush tool, you're not, what am I trying to say here? You're looking at the full channel, and you can't really isolate those channels. All right, let's go back here. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Oh well. Keep going along here. Moving that along. But on the bright side, we're doing a lot of work for the time that we've been on here. So that's a plus. Oh my god, that looks like hell. I'm going to have to go back in there. Feathering the feather. Alright, I need to get back out of this and find where I can get back in. Okay, got that. Alright, keep that. So whenever you're using the refined matte, you can see that some of this stuff is bringing in. So all the stuff that's in white is being kept. All the stuff that's completely black is not being kept. And that's why we did the first matte, or the first mask, is because we used it as a base model. So I'm just going to go ahead and go out and cancel all this other stuff because we don't want it. But you can see it really did a good job at finding those feathers. And the fortunate part of this is only a really quick shot. And since the white light is going to be white, a lot of this stuff is going to be kept really, really well. So I'm not really too worried about it. And if so, I can always go back and refine my matte or refine my mask. I will say mask. Keep going. All right, keep going here. I'm actually going to turn on more detailed shadow reduction here. And hopefully that's going to give me good results. If not, I'll turn it off and wait for a later day. Come on. Work. That's going to be way too long. I'll just turn it off. Come on. Bring it back. Bring it back to life. There you go. Here we go. Here. Move this down. Bring that down. Bring this back up. Move that. Bring that all the way around. Move it down. Right there. Cool. And bring this one back down through here. I see we have another stream follower. Welcome to the stream. We are working on the film The Black Mariachi by Guantanamera Films. They were so gracious to let us do this live while kind of showcasing their movie. So thank you, Guantanamera Films. All right, I think we just finished our mat here. So the fortunate thing about doing it this way, especially whenever we do our page up, page down, since we've outlined exactly what we want to keep, it's going to follow that and give us a really, really nice mask. So we'll just do page down and we'll move forward a frame. And we'll see exactly how this is going to pan out. So we move forward a frame. Everything looks good. Forward another frame. And then after we do this and make sure our mask looks really good, we're going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. And then we were going to render out just this mask layer. So it's going to work a lot quicker in post. So we're actually going to have a layer on top of this, which is going to be just this guy. So we can use that to our advantage to make our full composite scene here. And the reason why we do that, or the reason why I'm going to do that, I'm kind of, I guess, pioneering this new method, because RotoBrush, technically it renders out everything to where it's technically cutting this out and caching it away in a storage. But it does it in a really weird way to where it still takes like absolutely forever. And I just realized it did something bad here. So I got to go fix it. But it takes absolutely forever to render it while you're working. So in order to combat that, you have to render out all this stuff beforehand and then pop it back into your sequence. That way it doesn't have to constantly always render and re-render the cache every time you make a change. So I'm going to try that this time to see if that's going to make my workflow better. And hopefully I don't have to recomposite stuff. But I think that's going to make this whole scene just work out so much better. So yeah, I'm going to do that tonight. And that's something I haven't seen in a tutorial. So hopefully that's going to be a new workflow everybody's going to be using. And I am pioneering that live right now. So, crap. And as soon as I say that, something awful happens. That's just how it goes. Go up one more frame right there. Oh, that's how it goes. As soon as they say something cool. I am pioneering my way through After Effects and creating new techniques, and oh crap, I screwed up. That was, I think, my Ronald Reagan impression. Or no, that's Nixon. That was my Nixon impression. Enjoy it. So, I am free to answer any more questions if anybody has them. I'm just kind of watching this mask happen. So yeah, if you have any questions, now would be a good time if you have them. Or you can check out that fancy fan funding button. You can always do that too. We enjoy making tutorials, and we will keep doing tutorials for free because education should be for free. But if you can help us fund some of these stuff, we can give away more stuff, and yeah, awesome things will happen to your future. Also, if you share the stream and if you like our stream and subscribe, you could be a lucky winner of our Tutorial Grid Euro package, which has a bunch of 3D, whoops, I messed that up, a bunch of 3D textures that import directly into Video Copilot Element, as well as other 3D programs. So you can definitely win that. Or I can more likely just message you and be like, hey, thank you for sharing our stream, or thank you for commenting, and I'm going to give you this free thing because you are awesome because you came and commented. Because you are awesome people for commenting and sharing. Sharing is caring, right? Do 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 do. And I got a copyright notice. Oh, YouTube, you silly, silly thing. That's another thing I hate about Roto, is the fact that it takes forever to render. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Let's be nice. Let's play nice, Mr. Roto Tool. We've been nice to you today. Be nice to us. Okay. We're looking here, looking good, looking clean. Looking good. It probably isn't going to make a whole lot of difference, but I'm going to do it anyway. Zombie apocalypse. See you, one-man band. Enjoyed having you. All right, let's go through here. Make sure this is rotoed pretty good. And make sure our hands are rotoed out fairly decent. We definitely want to focus on this roto because we're going to have a lot of light through here. Back at our stick. Everything's all brown. I hate brown. Why brown? Ugh. This had to be brown. Alright, here's our stick. Looking good there. Moving forward. Moving forward. So, what kind of projects do you guys work on? That's a question. Anything, any music videos or any cool projects that people are working on lately? My chat bubble got really silent. It's so sad. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to talk to me while I'm rotoing. Which is fine. Mostly TV commercials of all types. Cool. Can you send us a link to your work in the chat? I like seeing people's work. Whether it's commercials or no. I think I might be actually doing a TV commercial for a Mexican restaurant soon, so that will be fun. I'm going to do it all sorts of crazy creative too, because the guy is like a personal friend of mine. He's like, I need a commercial, man. I'm like, okay, cool. That was a total Jamaican accent there, so sorry about that. But yeah, I should do something awesome with that Mexican restaurant. Dabbling in short films. Did a 48-hour film project a couple of weeks ago. I remember I've done a 48-hour film project. Did you have to? Did you stay up the full 48 hours? And are you from Missouri by any chance? Keeping going. Oh, we lost another viewer. That's so sad. Come join me in my live stream. Or hopefully by the time I get this thing masked and feathered out. Come on. My computer is working so hard. There's that. Masking. Everything's look good. Still good so far. Ah, Houston. Okay. Cool. No, because college of mine, or the college I went to, they have a guy, actually one of the associate producers of Frasier, the old 90s show. He started a 48-hour film festival in Missouri that I've participated in 3 times. And the 3rd time I did it, my film won crowd favorite, which that's always good. Oh my gosh, After Effects is tweaking out, and I do not like it. Go back. Go back to frame. There you go. I like to showcase people's work, especially if they participate. Sorry about the live stream going offline there for a second. Sometimes with all the stuff that goes on, my computer likes to shut down my OBS program, so I have to relaunch it, and I have to constantly stare at the right side monitor to make sure my stream is working. So thanks for keeping around through that. Keep on trucking. Yeah. Oh my gosh, After Effects is being glitchy today. Alright, go back a few frames. Go forward. Go forward. Go forward. Go forward. Okay, what's going on? Come on, dude. After Effects, be my friend. Why do you hate me? Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, this is weird. I might have to save and get out of... Oh, nope, here we go. Maybe. Maybe. Come on, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Alright. Go. Okay. Well, if you send me a message, I'll go ahead and link it to the message board. Alright. Are we playing nice again? I hope so. Play nice to me. I didn't do anything. I did do nothing to hurt you. Except for maybe call you names a couple of times, which I'm probably going to have to fix that. Ugh. Let's go back. Go back. Make sure that's fixed. Nope, it isn't. Alright, go back. Fix that. It's a lot of work for a 2-second shot. Like, seriously. It is a lot of work through 2-second shots. 2-second shots will take you a lifetime of work. A lifetime! Okay. There's that. That. Nice. I'm glad. I hope you're learning a few things about the RotoBrush tool. And still, I think there's still a lot of work to be done in the back end of the RotoBrush tool. Because, I mean, there's still so... I mean, it's still quite slow. It does a really good job. You have to hold its hand. I mean, it's just like any other masking program. It does a good job at refining, especially with the Refine Edge tool. But man, it does take a very long time to really get it down, you know. Keep going, keep going, keeping on, keeping on. So do you go to the SXSW Film Fest? Come on. Render. Render. Be my friend and render. Because you want to be nice. Oh, it's a good time. I'm thinking of putting one of my films in that, which is going to be my People Inspiring People film, which I'm going to do a ton of them. My first one's actually over a video gamer who does video game modifications to old NES systems. Anybody out there a gamer who's watching? Which is like the whole 2 people still watching. Who's the other person still watching out there? I know Victor's there. Who's the second person? Say hello. Come contribute to our chat window. We know you're there. All right. There's that. Moving on. Yeah, I hear it's pretty crowded. I mean, it's going to be that's pretty much going to be any film festival nowadays. There needs to be a new film festival. Oh, wait, there's like thousands and thousands of film festivals. There's like 20 in every state. Forward. And we'll forward one more frame for good measure, even though this is going to be our cutoff. So before we do that, move this back and call it good. All right, saving. Jesus Christ. Fantastic. It's done. Cool. All right, going back into our composition. Going back to the Austin Film Festival. I hear that one's pretty good too. All right. Let's bring our footage in, shall we? Play nice. Play nice, Rotobrush tool. I know we gave you a lot to think about, but play nice. You know you want to. There. Yeah! Look at that. Everything's looking pretty good. We've got a little bit of squirreliness right around in this region, but we're going to hide a lot of that stuff. Yeah, it's not looking bad. Not looking bad at all. We're going to decontaminate some of this and reduce some of the chatter here. So I'm going to reduce the chatter by a bit. Let's say about 14%. Yeah, right? Isn't that good? But really, the biggest part that I'm going to be focusing on is this part right here, because this part is going to be, it's going to have a big white light in front of it, and we're also going to have a white light in front of our foreground as well. So it's going to help mask out a lot of our contamination, which is going to help us out in the long run. And this part I'm not really too worried about, except whenever it comes to flares and some of the other whitewashing what we're going to do, as well as some of the smoke. So I'm actually fairly happy with how we got things going here. You know, this is going to work, I think. I'm going to go ahead and feather this out maybe to 15 and see how that looks like. See if we can decontaminate some of our edges here. And reduce the shift edge a little bit. Hopefully that takes out some of this, because I'm looking to have fairly sharp edging here, which that did not do too good. I do not like the way that turned out. That's actually looking pretty good. I'm liking that pretty well. I think that's going to work for what I'm going to use it for. So, Victor, do you see why we used the the roto brush last refine edge? It got, I mean, it's not perfect. Trust me, it is not perfect. But for what it is and what we need it for, it's going to do the job really well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reapply this thing here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to completely matte this out because this is going to take forever to play back. See, I just pressed play just to give this a render, and it's going to think about every single one of these frames. Yeah, see, it's going to have a playback error because it couldn't think. Because it's trying to play back every single one of these frames in a certain order. And why did that do that? Did that get moved over? No. Weird. It's wild. Right? Right? Huh, weird. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, reason why we did this is I'm going to take this and I'm going to matte this completely to where I'm going to render it out as either a PNG sequence or a matted QuickTime file, so then I can re-import it back into the footage so I don't have to deal with the matting and the roto brushing. Oh, I could spend 12 hours a day watching tutorial videos and still the train would be moving away from me faster than I can keep up. Dude, we're all there. I remember watching Andrew Kramer's tutorials. I would fall asleep to them just because I wanted to know every single thing I could get my hands on. But that's the way it's got to be, you know. There's nobody perfect. I believe everybody's about on the same playing field. It's just whether or not they're able to refine their skills to a certain level. And by all means, I am not perfect. But I try to reach a accomplishable, you know, goal. Yeah, go ahead and do this. Lossless. We'll go to, what should we do? QuickTime, RGB plus alpha, format, 100% animation. Pre-matted, that's going to be fine on 432-bit. Okay, make sure my project's 32 or at least 16. 16 will be just fine. Back in my render queue here. Pop that out, and we will call this, look, Pip. That's my film there, which I need to be working over here because there are things you shouldn't see. So, well, screw it. Be fine. Black Mariachi, boom. And we'll do VFX, stock, new. We'll call this Pillar of Light 1. Render. Yes. After Effects warning, logged in error. Error rendering, error while writing to file. Parallel of light.move, unable to open file. Blah, 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 blah. That's new. Don't like that. Okay, let's try to render it some other way. Export. Into render queue. Lossless. Let's do PNG sequence. RGB plus alpha. Millions of colors. We'll do trillions of colors. Format options. No compression. Perfect. Let's try this. Go back into there. Light. Open. Save. Oops. Light. Whatever. Come on. No sheep noises, please. No sheep noises. Wow, 20 years, huh? Yeah, I've only been using it for 8. So I'm still, I guess, a rookie whenever it comes to a lot of this stuff. But you got to learn. Got to learn. And I'm hoping this is going to render correctly. Because this is the pre-mat, and I'm really, really, really hoping this is going to work all right. Sometimes it does not want to work. So hopefully it works. So if anybody else has any questions or would like to talk about anything, I'm going to be here for a while. So I may turn off the stream and wait for another day if this takes too long. So I'm going to open the field to questions. So you got questions, I have answers. Let me know. All right, so I'm still waiting. So I think I'm going to end the stream here because I think this is going to take a little bit too long. So everybody, thank you for hanging out with me. Victor, thank you for being awesome and asking questions and keeping me sane through this entire process of masking. This is, again, the Black Mariachi by Guantanamo Films. I am Check here with Tutorial Grid. I hope you enjoyed this session of live streaming. I will be back tomorrow to finish up this effect since this is going to take way too long to render. So yeah, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Avid Productions 479. Also on Twitter at twitter.com/tutorialgrid, and our website at avidproductions479.com. Guys, thank you so much. I